Okay guys, we have a new project this morning, so got to get going on it and get it done fast. So I got a couple of helpers. One sporting some new equipment on her knee. Tiffany's been having knee problems. Carly is more interested in the side-by-side than working, but Tiffany's got to take care of that knee. So guys, what we got this morning, we're going to work our pasture-raised chickens, are starting our eggs producers out in the field, and this is going to be hopefully what protects them from coyotes and possums and so on and so forth. This is more to keep stuff out than it is to keep them in. So we got to get going on it and get this set up, and then we have to move that chicken coop down here. Tiffany, you ready?
Might as well be.
All right, so we bought the complete kit. So this is the solar charger. Obviously take care of your solar panel. This little cover that goes on the side here where the battery goes, obviously got a little battery emblem, 12 volt. Comes with the battery. I just stuck the battery in there just now. And got two simple connections. You got red to positive, black to negative. So comes with a tester. And there's our clamps. And power supply. Ground rod, I'm sure. Haven't read the instructions yet, but I can't imagine it's not what that is. So now we got to open up the fence. Okay guys, me and Carly just got done mowing the grass, not Tiffany. So you got to mow because you can't have that tall stuff getting up into the electric fence. It just starts to kind of short it out. So here's our fence, the netting and the regular poles. We opted for the heavier poles for the corners. That'll help keep everything nice and straight. So I would love to let you watch this, but our camera stand is broke. So it's going to be we're going to start putting it up and then bring you back and let you see as we go. But I can tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take one of these corner posts and we are going to select where we want our corner. So right now I'm thinking the corner is going to be right along in here. So they've got a step in on them, so you can just, my ground's real rocky, so we got to select a spot where we don't hit something. Almost. Not even. So there we go. So that's where we're going to start. And so this will make us a 25 by 25 plot here. And Carly is running away from the work. All right, guys. We have dropped the post in the ground. I'll tie this back shut so that when I put my corner posts in, I can take the slack out. I've got two corner posts in already. One right here where we started. One over there. So now we're going to put in these other two. And when I say corner, that's kind of a loose translation because it ain't actually the corner. But this is your support post that will keep things where you want it to be, because these are quite a bit sturdier. So this is the 100-foot kit. So it's providing a 25 by 25 roughly lot. Now, me and Tiffany will add another one of these probably in the next couple of weeks.
If you live in the area, come to the Johnson City Farmers Market and support us by buying plants and hot sauces and so forth, and help us to buy another fence to add on to this, right?
Right. All right, there we are. So now we got to move our chicken coop, and we got to move the chicken. So we're gonna bring you back to that in just a second. Okay, guys, we have got the electric fence up, and we're getting ready to turn off the charger and move some chickens in. So here's the fence, and this is one section of 100-foot fence.
I actually already unclipped it.
Tiffany has unclipped the power charger. Unclipped this to her and make things interesting. So,
Bad idea.
all right, so we're going to order hopefully shortly another one of these so these guys can have twice this much space. But this is plenty for them for now. Is this all of them, Tiff? Or you got another batch up there?
That's it.
Okay, so we got these, and then we got the older ones we moved out about a week ago. It's got to come down here. So we'll get these guys moved in and then get the other ones moved in. So, all right, Tiff?
Yes.
You want to go ahead and untie that. Just got it tied at the top. Just untie your bow.
I still hear something. Is that?
It can't hit you because you're not hooked up to it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't like getting shot.
It can't hit you because you're not hooked up to it.
I don't like electricity, by the way. Getting shocked by it.
Low voltage, it'll just scare you.
We did find out we probably would like a gate because this works, but
Well, we got to start somewhere. So guys, I'm gonna let Tiffany start moving the birds. We still got to clean the coop out, so she's gonna start moving the birds in. They're a little bit excitable.
a little bit. In the coop? Nope, just out.
Ain't cleaned it yet. I think I will help here. I'll get Hopper here. These guys should be quite happy. Plenty of fresh green grass. Now these are all pullets. So I said guys, that was kind of a lie. These are all girls. These are going to be egg layers. This is going to be our pastured, completely free range eggs. And these will be certified organic. They have been fed nothing but organic from day one. And we have several breeds here. Now, I intentionally left this up off the ground a little bit on this coop so they could get under there and hide from an aerial predator. Now, once they get bigger, it won't be as big of a deal, but little like that gives them a little bit of a space to hide. Guys, here is the solar charger. Now I reversed the wires. I actually reversed. The black is meant to be the ground, but I got it hooked to the positive, and the orange is meant to be the power. I got it hooked to the negative. And I did that because I would have needed a shorter T-post to have made this work. So the power wire was longer and the ground wire wouldn't reach my ground rod. So
Apparently chicken abuse back here.
you making those chickies mad. All right, guys, we're gonna go fill up their waterer. And then
The way I filled them up.
and, oh, Tiffany already done it.
And I got them a big humongous.
I bet you didn't get the other water base though, did you?
No, just the
So, all right, we're gonna get them took care of. Sorry about the jolty camera, but this is a big waterer. Oh, golly gee, this is a big one. Baby is massive. So, we'll give them the big one for now, and we'll get another one of these bases. That way, we come down here and one of the water is empty. The other one should have water in it. Yep. I'll let Tiffany thread that little cap off. Guys, we really liked these waterers. We'd had a lot of them over the years. The only problem I've ever had out of this waterer compared to the other ones is we had rats chew the base off of one time. What a problem to have. So, all right, and Tiffany's got their feed, but we can't put that in the coop until we get the coop cleaned out. So, all right, we got to get a shovel. So that's gonna be boring. We won't let you watch the shoveling. Nobody wants to deal with all that. So we'll be back in a moment. Figure I'd give you a little chickie time. Who doesn't like watching chicks? Had to, sorry about that, run them out from underneath the coop because they was all wanting to huddle down there. And they need to learn to free range, enjoy the outdoors. One back there in the middle reminds us of a blue laced red Wyandotte, but not supposed to be, so it just happens to have that plumage. Some of them are starting to get in the hang of free ranging a little bit. So, raising your birds on pasture makes for a different type of meat than what you would get in the grocery store. So we're raising some on pasture for meat, and we're raising some on pasture for eggs. It gives you a richer egg that's full of more vitamins and minerals. There's controversy on that. Some people do not believe that that's the case, but most of the studies that have came back in favor of the farm fresh pasture raised eggs. Now, farm fresh does not matter. You can have a farm fresh egg that is raised in the same manner that a commercial egg is raised, meaning they're in a little room, they never get out. They may have access to go out, but it's so small that they don't go out, and then you end up with the same type of egg. Now, there is some insight out there that heritage breeds versus a production layer produce a higher quality egg. I happen to think that that's fairly true. Can't say for sure, but I can taste the difference in some of the heritage breed eggs versus the production layers. We've had some production layers on the farm before, and now I ain't got nothing against production layers. We'll probably mix a few in with these just to get the numbers up on the egg count, because some of your heritage breeds and some of your heritage style birds do not lay nearly enough eggs to make it worthwhile. But we like to have a mix in our egg cartons of different sizes and shapes. We don't grade our eggs. Our customers don't seem to care that we don't grade our eggs. So they may be small eggs, and there may be large eggs, and there may be medium eggs. Tiffany, over there, outside now, since the electric fence wasn't on, it decided to fly through the fence. Some chickens just ain't smart. Now, if the fence had been on, it would have regretted that very quickly. Now it's trying to get back in, but it can't get in because the holes at the bottom are smaller to keep them from trying to go out. It actually made it in. Now, once the electric's on, they won't do that. So I'm going to go over and turn the electric on right now so they can start learning. Well, as you can see, guys, it's 0 dark 30. We have got the chickens all settled in. Put them up in their coop for the night. So they are put away. We got to continue to train them in here. So for years we raised chickens in mobile chicken coops. They were smaller coops. Most of them had about a 4 foot by 6 foot run on them. A few of them had a 4 foot by 8 foot run on them. Plus the space under the coop gave them about another 4 feet. And that was when we were breeding chickens. And I'm sorry about the traffic noise, guys. Busy road this evening. That's when we were breeding chickens. And as much as we told ourselves that we would move them coops on a weekly basis, we rarely did. It usually turned into every 2 to 4 weeks. And one, they're in a fairly close enclosed environment. And we decided we didn't like that. And we did that for years. So if you're doing that, no, not knocking you. So we're going for a different route here. And yeah, these electric fences are not cheap. And doing the chickens this way is not an inexpensive way of doing it. But we feel like it's going to give us a higher quality life for the chickens, and we're hoping to see a quality difference in the eggs. Not that we had a big difference in the eggs before, but we're hoping for healthier chickens, and which will in turn produce more eggs. So, you know, these are going to be certified organic, and the organic feed is expensive. So it's not going to be a cheap way of doing things. These are 50% for us, and then we're going to sell about half of them, of the eggs. It's looking like on a small scale production like we're doing, we're probably going to end up being around $8 a dozen on the eggs. And I know that's a really high dollar figure for eggs, but I've done the math, and that really still isn't paying us that good of a labor for what we're doing. You know, it's the feed is currently we're paying $45, $46 a bag for the feed. We can get that down a little bit cheaper for the same brand feed if we go out of town and buy it in bulk. But that being said, that's also going to be a day out of our work, a day of work to go do that. So I don't know that it's going to pay off. We'll see. But at this point, we're going to stick with what we've got and run it that way. So follow us along on our journey. We'll let you know how it goes. We're going to try to document feeding, starting probably at this point right here, how much how much we feed, egg production, and we're not going to count the feeders and the waterers unless we have to buy new ones, because we already have those. But if you're doing, there's a Tiffany back there. If you're doing this for the first time, the feeders and waterers are something you got to buy, so it's an expense. The coops, the electric fence. Now we will count the electric fence because that's something new we bought this year. So the fence will be counted, the feed will be counted, and anything we have to replace. If we got to buy a chicken feed scoop, if we got to buy chicken coop, anything we got to do, piece of wood, it's going to go in on this.
If we have chicken hawks and they take out the entire flock,
yeah,
replace chickens.
Like right now, we've lost one of the egg layers, so that's an expense. One of them died probably from stupidity of piling on in the brooder. They had, Lord knows, they had way more room than they needed, but they all decided one spot was where they wanted to lay for that one night. And the chick had a bad leg. So, and then I lost one meat bird to its stupidity. It was Tiffany had caught it several times, sticking its neck outside of the coop. Well, something took advantage of that and ate the head off the chicken. I'm sorry, I know that's gross, but it's part of it. And sometimes the stupid weed themselves out. And we hate it because it's an expense for us, but also I hate it for the animal. I mean, yeah, that was going to be a meat bird. It's going to end up being processed at some point anyway, but
it's a rough way to go.
Not in that way.
Nobody likes being decapitated.
No. So guys, that's where we're going to stop this video. Be sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification icon so that you can follow us along on this journey and other journeys that we got going on our farm. We hope to be able to share and help you through what we do. We try to be real with what we do. We don't try to be fake. I mean, I'm really just showing you what we're doing here. So I'm going to show you one more thing before I let you go, though. Look at Tiffany's beautiful garlic. Now, next year, the garlic will probably move over here, and it'll probably take up this whole space.
You want to look a little closer? We have Vietnamese red, Kettle River Giant. Now this is impressive so far. Like, we're not even close to it being done. We've already got bulbs that are, I mean, they're huge. There's another one back here that's like really big. But they're already bulbing up, and that is humongous garlic. So I am so happy. That actually came from King garlic. We're going to save several of these seeds for next year. But yeah, King garlic. And they have organic garlic, which is great because that's what we need for seeds. We have Armenian, which is also a new one for us. And it's huge too. I mean, look at this. It's like...
Yeah, I was impressed with the Armenian. At least the size of the stalk. I don't know what the bulb is, but the stalk is huge.
I do not have little tiny hands. So, I is not a little tiny girl.
Didn't want a little tiny girl.
No. So, I mean, this is big compared to me. So, that's pretty cool. Enchelium red, which is also really big. Very, very happy with it. just not as big as the other ones, but it's not supposed, they're all not supposed to be as big. You have garlic that is a bigger clove, and you have some that are a smaller clove, and that's just the way that it is. Chestnut red, and this one has really took off this week. I am quite impressed because it's looking really
Wonder
really
if they
nice.
can tell we were excited about red garlics.
I just like garlic. I like spicy garlic. I like just savory garlic. I just like garlic. So.
And you use most of this either in your stuff or in your CSAs, don't you?
Correct. Yes.
Most of this never makes it to market because of the value of it.
Yep. We have Korean red, which is really, really nice. This came from our saved garlic.
So how nice is it?
Really, really nice. It's a great garlic, really good flavor. The unfortunate thing is I am still saving my seeds. I might have to add some back this year to get some bigger bulbs off of it and bigger cloves, because it's still smaller than what I'd like. Now it'll grow, and it'll continue to
sometimes
grow
a lot.
Right, but it's not the size that I am happy with. So I want it to have some bigger cloves. So I'm probably going to order some replacements for that this year.
In general, the bigger clove you start with, the bigger bulb you get, correct?
Correct. Now, Bogatir, and I'm probably butchering that name.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole old Disney, like Mr. Bogatir or whatever it was. But this one also, it actually done a whole lot better. But I had an issue with something digging in my garlic, whether it was
Right here. You see this?
Charlie. Yeah, so my Bogatir is not impressive. So if you're hoping to try that out this year, might as well just hang it up for me, because it's not going to happen, because this is probably all going back to seed because of him. Ow. Georgian Fire. Now this one is yummy. It is spicy. It is hot. Woo! It'll get your attention like Charlie's claws. But it is a good garlic, and I'm impressed with it. This is saved garlic from us too. I've saved the Georgian Fire. I think this is its 3rd year on our farm. So actually pretty good stalks. Not quite like the other ones, but it's not as big of a garlic as those. But it's looking really good. It's digging down in there, so I'm happy. Spanish Roja. This is also one that we've been saving, and it is just not as big of a garlic as some of the other ones, but it actually is really nice. And I didn't start with really big cloves on it either, but it's also not supposed to be a big garlic. It's a smaller garlic, so you'll never get anything like the Kettle River Giant, just because it's not that way. But it's got a very good spicy flavor to it. So anybody want a cat? Got a few.
Free cat, free cat. We're just kidding. Charlie can't go nowhere.
Music garlic. Now, these are really nice big bulbs, which are the ones that I started out with. The other ones are a little bit smaller. Now, my music were some of the last ones to be ready last year. And this is another reason why we'll just let Charlie come up here. But this is, if you see some of my Instagram posts, I actually have got a lot of green garlic. Last year, when the garlic was ready to harvest, I'm gonna kill him. When the garlic was ready to harvest, it rained for like 3 weeks. So I was not able to harvest hardly anything. And by the time I did harvest, a lot of it had rotted in the ground, and it just died. What I thought was dead. But actually, I've got green garlic out of it this year, which is really cool. But because of that, I have smaller bulbs from my saved garlic, which just happens because they had way too much rain. Now this year we've had a perfect amount of rain, which is really great. And we've got German porcelain, which is a variety it actually had gotten off of a friend several years ago. And now I'm building my collection. And the last one is not mentioned here, but it's Sicilian. Now, you can tell it is very small.
And that's why?
That is because it just got planted like 2 months ago.
Which is way later than you should have.
Yeah. It got too cold. We had to put up a high tunnel. I've got a billion excuses that I could use, but I failed to continue with the garlic and plant it all on time. And so there it is, it happened. Somewhat of some bulbs, we'll see.
All right, guys, that is where we are going to call it. Just wanted to give you a little bonus. Have a good one. See you.